How are you? This is my little guy, Alec. Say hi. So today I wanted to go and show you guys how to make a pumpkin roll and using all my fun Tupperware stuff, right?
Right.
Luckily, this is for our family, and we have clean hands, right?
See, Mama.
Yep. So it's super simple, and I know like everybody loves them, but they don't know how to make them. So let me show you. I am making a double recipe. So this is actually 6 egg yolks instead of 3, because I don't know. I'm one of those people that that likes to make more than one at a time. This is not necessary, sir. Okay, so I have my egg yolks in there, and Alec is going to pull them. And we are trying to make what you want them to look like is thicker. So this might take a couple minutes, but this is a great way of letting your kids help you, right? You like doing this? So if you just do short little pulls, what you're wanting is it for it to start looking a little bit lighter in color. And it really doesn't take that long. Stop. Please put it down. No. You need to wait. Thank you, sir. Let's take a look, okay?
Is that helping?
We need a little bit more in there. Bless you, sir. Yes, you can. So obviously it's going to take a little bit longer with the kiddos. You don't need to pull it that far. Not that far. It's something fun to do. And they're learning all kinds of lessons like following instructions. So we're going to add some of this sugar. There's a cup of sugar in there, and that is, again, a double recipe. So it is going to start getting a little bit harder to do, which is perfectly okay. Go ahead. It's going to be harder. Too hard?
Yeah.
Do you see how much lighter that is from the bottom to the top? So I want to do is open this up, and I just want to make sure we get all of those, stop please,
I knew it.
all the way down.
I know it.
But see, not every job is for a little guy. We want to put the lid back on, and we're going to pull one more time. Can you pull for me?
Yeah.
Okay. Good job, sir. So this is the egg yolk portion. Next, we are going to go ahead and do the egg white portion, okay? So now we're going to take our mixture, which is our egg yolks and sugar, and we're going to add our pumpkin. So remember, I did say we're making a double recipe. So with that being in mind, I'm going to use our wonderful can opener. I love this thing. The biggest difference between this and any other ones is right here. There's no sharp edges. So what you're actually doing is you're breaking the seal of the can, not breaking into the can. So as you can see, you should be able to pick it up. Now, normally you'd go like this, which you can. I go like this. I don't know why, I find it to be just so much easier. And then you'll just kind of feel like it loosens. So once you've done that, you're going to take the beak, go like this, and pop it open. See? Super simple. And then look, no sharp edges. So this recipe calls for 2/3 of pumpkin puree, not pumpkin pie, just pure pumpkin. Because I am making a double recipe, I am going to do the 2/3 twice. And you just want to make sure it's a little bit mixed. And the reason I do the egg whites and yolks separately, because some recipes don't call for that, and my recipe does. And any sort of your like Swiss roll type jelly rolls, you usually do want to use the egg whites separate, just because then it's a fluffier roll. So now I'm going to put my lid back on, put that on, so then I'm just kind of mixing that up. So now I'm going to put it in my bowl. And the reason I am using another bowl is because I think that's maybe some of the complications with your Swiss rolls is it does take a little bit of extra work to make them, but they're so good, and you can freeze them. So like I said, I'm making 2, and I know it's super early in like the whole fall season because it's not even fall, but I make these year round because my family loves them. Then I'm just going to pour this batter straight into here. I mean, you technically could put everything into this and not even mess with the second bowl. I don't know. I have a dishwasher and 2 boys that are very capable of washing dishes in my house, including myself. So I don't mind doing the extra couple dishes. Now I'm going to add to it I use this, and what I have in here is our egg whites and sugar, and I made, it's similar to a meringue. It's about the consistency. What's super cool about this is there is also a ring that you can put in so you can do yolks and stuff, and your batter, your beaters fit right down in there, and it has a closed side and an open side, so when you're doing it, make sure you have it on the closed side if you're using it how I am. I'm going to show you. See? That is how you want your peaks, okay? So when they're talking about peaks, this is, let me show you. You can see that. That is going to be the peak you're looking for. Anything less or anything more, you don't want. So what I do is you want to fold in these ingredients together. And what folding means is you're going to take it from the outside and go in. Okay? So you're just kind of trying to mix it. And the reason you're folding versus just mixing it is you don't want to break down your peaks that you made. I usually put like half of it in there. You want to make sure you're using good eggs too. That's super important when you're making this, or you're not going to get that consistency you want. All of the different bowls are different. Like the Vatsa bowl is definitely your mixing. You can use the beater on it. And you can use, you know that because there's like a texture inside. These bowls right here, these do not have that texture inside. These are going to be like a straight up mixing bowl, or for your salad, stuff like that. So these are great for things like that because they have a smooth side. So look at, there's those two. Now I'm not done. I have to do my flour, it's flour, salt, baking powder, baking soda, and cinnamon, and yeah, that's it. Sorry. Now there is some other recipes out there that you can put a lot more stuff in. I just try to keep it simple. So you're just gonna, and the difference between when you sift your flour mixture, you're gonna make sure you're not gonna get any like lumps of baking powder and baking or salt or things like that. So you're making sure it's nice and soft and fluffy, and you're gonna keep it that way by doing it this way, and it's super simple. So with this mixture, I just wanna do a little bit at a time, because again, I don't want to deflate my beautiful meringue mixture per se. So you're just folding it in, and remember this is a double recipe, and why wouldn't you do a double recipe if you've done all of this work, right? So you just want to make sure you're doing it small batches at a time and mixing it together, and so that you can actually make sure you're getting all that mixture really mixed in together, so it rises correctly and all that good stuff. You also don't want to overmix. You can definitely make a very tough batter if you do. For anything, honestly. So I almost have this done, a little bit more to go. And then I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna use. And I'm super excited because it's a new product in Tupperware. This guy, this is our silicone mat. Look how cool this is. This is as big as my cookie sheet, okay? And this is just one of those flat cookie sheets. Look how large that is. I know it doesn't look very deep, but it's perfect for this. And this makes the perfect pumpkin roll. It also has circles on it, which you can't see right now. I still do grease it because I'm kind of, I don't know, I think it's just an old school thing of me. But there's little circles on it that you can use to guide you to make macarons. So that's kind of interesting too. So I'm going to use half of this. I'm going to show you. So you don't want to be too, you want to be gentle with this batter. So you're not breaking it down. And it does pretty much stay the same size and doesn't really move around a lot. So once you have it in there, it's not gonna like over bake the top and all that crazy stuff like some might. As you can see, I'm just gonna pull this to the edge. I might need to put a little bit more in here, which is fine. I'd rather start with a little bit less than too much. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take the flat edge of my spatula and I'm just gonna kind of glide it over the top of this. Edge to edge, side to side, and the reason I'm doing that is just so that I know that my pumpkin roll is going to bake evenly. If you don't do this, you will end up with a wonky roll. So that's it. Now this is going to go in my oven for like 12 minutes, and then I will show you the next step. Thanks. Hi! Okay, so our pumpkin rolls are done. So I want to show you guys how to roll them and how I do it. So I use, I bought all these like colorful towels. They're like super thin linen. So they're not gonna like leave marks all like fuzz or anything. And I only use them for this, to do my pumpkin rolls. So what I do is I keep my powdered sugar in one of my modular mates. This is called a Rec 1. Don't touch. So I'm just going to put a little bit. You can put a little bit. That's too much. That's cooking with kids, right? So I'm just going to take this powdered sugar and lay it out. So it looks like this, okay? So here's our pumpkin roll, okay? And it is still hot. It came out probably like 2 minutes ago. And then I'm going to take it and the reason I put the powdered sugar on there is so that it doesn't stick. Don't touch. Me, it's hot. So I'm going to take this end and I'm just going to tightly roll this. And you want to do this hot because it will then, hold on, let mommy do. It will allow you to form it so that it does not crack. So then this will just hang out on my counter, and then I'm going to show you how to unroll it, right? Okay, so here's another one that we did earlier, right, Alec? Okay, well then let Mama do.
I do.
Nope, Mommy do, because I want to make sure that we don't break it. Stop. So now I have my cream cheese mixture, which is cream cheese, powdered sugar, and vanilla. Oh, it has butter too. Hold on, let me just put some of it down. The reason I'm not letting him do this yet is I don't want him to rip it. Good job. Thank you. Okay, can Mommy do a little bit more? Now you do want to let this cool completely so it doesn't melt this mixture. Now I don't put it all the way to the getting it all the way to the very edge is not necessary because when you're rolling it, it's going to go to the edges and you always cut off the edge as well. What you're missing is Alec tasting this. So now, the roll. I always roll towards me versus away from me. I don't know. It's just completely up to you. Let me show you. You definitely want to make sure you're doing this a little bit carefully. And you don't want to squish down on it because it will rip. And it's okay if you have a little crack. It's part of the character of it. What are you doing? You have to see this. Come over here. Show them. Now I can't use that. No more. Because that's gross. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my powdered sugar and I put some on my silicone mat, okay? I'm going to take my roll and I'm just going to roll it through it. And why I'm doing this, even if you're going to freeze it, is it can be a little sticky, and this is going to prevent you from probably ripping it. Please don't do that. Take this mat and roll it back and forth without overly messing with this, and get any of the sticky spots. The powdered sugar is going to stick. Okay, I'm going to roll it back onto my cutting board. And I'm going to leave this to the side because I'm going to need it again. So now, this is my kid's favorite part because you want to be able to have a pretty roll. Now let's show you how pretty it is. Look how gorgeous, right? Look how big it is. It's huge. So then what I do with these is I'm going to cut this in half. Now I can put some parchment paper or what have you, and then wrap it. And then put it in my freezer for any time I have a guest come over. So super easy. Hope you guys enjoyed.